What up everyone, my name is Dylan and welcome back to the fort for a review of Flotsam, a city builder where you are a ship on the middle of the ocean and you use garbage and refuse to build your city. Now, I was given this key to review the game, and so I might be a little partial. However, I've been following this game through EA for a long time, and just so you guys know, I have put about 33 hours into the game over the past week, just to make sure I give you guys the information that you really need. So if you'll join me, what we're going to do is we're going to start a new game. We're going to do about 10 minutes of gameplay to show you how the game starts. We'll talk about some of the good, some of the bad, and also some of the updates that they're going to make for the 1.0 release that is today. Aside from that, I will then show you what a mid-game playthrough looks like and a late-game playthrough. So please join me as we look through Flotsam. When you start a new game, you get 3 randomized people. You can re-roll them. You can randomize them. You can see, oh, I need a liquids person that can make water. Or I need a person who can do fishing. But I always just do random for fun. We'll figure it out later. So we're just going to confirm the crew. They've all got like fun little pun names. So Portside, Moana Tackle, and Conch Bottom. This is our city. We are the survivors of a giant flood caused by terraforming machines gone bad. There's not a lot of lore, but what there is pretty fun. So the main gameplay mechanic is we are going to be on this ship right here. We are going to gather refuse from the water. And we're going to use that refuse to increase the size and efficiency of our buildings. We're going to do that through, I'm going to go ahead and pop it up to 3x3 speed. This is still the alpha build, and I have access to the 1.0, but I'm using the alpha build just so that I can show you guys my saves, and all the information I have is based on this build, and I don't want to be incorrect and tell you that I've been playing on the 1.0. So, as you can see, what you do is you build platforms. Kind of move your ways out. It's like Venice. You've got like little like walkways and stuff, and you create these little waterways. You then have to create different types of buildings. So this one is a building that makes random plastic into floaters. Floaters may sound suggestive, but really it's just like a plastic bottle that holds up your stuff, like a pontoon boat. So our guys are going to get working, and as you can see, they have pretty good little animations, honestly. I think it's great. I love the art style. It's like cel shaded, and everything is very good. All the different workshops have different animations, and there's like different kind of power generation. There's like wood fire, there's petroleum, there's solar, fusion eventually, and even manual bike. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to grab one more little bunch of plastic. While they do that, this is our overmap. This is how we move, okay? This collection ring is how far our people can swim to get materials. It'll expand once we get salvage boats. While we're in this, the people are actively gathering. As you can see, this tiny little thing is getting smaller. Once it's good, we can start moving on to the next one. This bar here denotes our energy capacity. We've used a little bit to move. We are an electric ship. So basically, we have this lovely thing on the back. This is our battery. It's got a crank on it, and it's got a little gauge. So as it fills up, or as it depletes, somebody will come back here and crank it. You can set, oh, here it goes, right there. And see, he's filling it up. And then once he's done, he'll stop. So we're going to set this up to just kind of create those floaters for us, and we're going to go over here. I'm going to try to... Can I still grab all of the plastic? No, but she should grab... She grab. They'll grab it, okay. And then we're going to grab this wood. Now, when you pick up wood that's in the water like this, you have to dry it, which is like its own little production cycle. But it's pretty easily gotten past. It takes about 45 minutes. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of gather some stuff, and our goal for this playthrough, like this part of it, I want to make the basic structures. I want to show you just like the basics of food production, water production, how to make a house, and how to find somebody to rescue. And then we'll move on to mid-game, and I'll show you how to do research and things like that. Actually, I can show you how to do research in the early one too. So, okay, we are good to go. You can just straight up travel backwards if you need to. It happens. So I'll put this in here, and while they're doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to get a manual dryer. This is one of my favorite little animations. Okay, they're building, they're building, they're building. So we're going to go in here, and we've got 29 wet wood. We are going to hit this to automatically keep going. Little trick, if you don't want to hit this a bunch of times, if you hit this and then undo it, it'll automatically do 10. It'll just fill up the proc queue. So like on this one, it would do 4 because that's what I have left. So that's kind of a way of like getting a full production line going without having to like just sit there and click a bunch of numbers. But for this, wet wood doesn't do us any good, so I'm just going to keep it going. Let's see if we can find somebody to do some. So this person's going to spin this crank, which spins this fan, which dries individual pieces of wood. It's very inefficient. We will get to the next stage, and it'll be a lot better. So we are good to go. We're going to move on to the next one. We're going to get some kelp. Kelp is your original food source. Think of it like space lettuce. Think of it like water lettuce, right? So this guy's going to go and get some. One thing I will say, so you can set this up to be however many people you want to go get it. We only have 3 people, but just to kind of speed things up, I set it to be 3, and it'll remember that. So it's kind of nice in that way. It's a pretty good quality of life. Okay, they're going to bring back their stuff. We have a total capacity right now of 100. That's something that's going to be really limiting, but there's not much you can do about it until you get some resources built up. Okay. Oh, let's talk about the overmap for a second. The overmap is a very thin, continuous line that goes left to right. From what I can tell, forever. I got to the end game and then just started sailing in one direction and never got to the end. So it's got like, you never have to worry about running out of a certain type of material or anything. There's no finite amounts of anything. You just have to go find what you need. And you can always tell, like, if you want to remember where something is, there's a legend on the top and bottom of the map that tells you exactly what, let's say, kilometer it's at or something. But it's kind of an interesting little map because it's very thin, but very, like, long. It's like if you took the ring from Halo and just laid it out, you know, into like a giant map. So we'll just keep moving. Okay, get some more wood. Boom. And then what do we got? What else can we build right now? We can build a little bit of storage. Might as well. And one thing that's really cool is like you can make your houses and stuff look like whatever you want, which is a really neat thing. Or not your houses. I'm sorry. You can make your city look like whatever you want. And I'll show you. I've got one that looks like a battleship, and I've got one that looks more city-like. And you can go find, there's so many, like, it's one of those things where there's going to be people that make just amazing looking cities. A couple more things about the overworld. As you can see, you can see the individual things, but you can't interact with them on this map. I really wish you could. I think it would make the game better. But instead, just, you know, for your edification, let's say if I want this wood right here, if I move my map over it and then hit M, the wood will be right there somewhere on my screen. So if I want to do that for the plastic, boom, plastic's right there. It can help you because sometimes it's hard to find individual islands or resources by just scanning the ocean in regular mode because the ocean is very big. Okay, let's grab some more floaters. And we're going to start trying to find our first, we've got to build some houses. So that's kind of our first little thing. Got our sawmill. One nice thing is that even though this is kind of a game of scarcity, you're always going to be able to find stuff, like I said, but you also are going to be able to make almost everything on your boat eventually. You can grow your own crops, plant your own trees. The only things you won't be able to get are like plastics, and you won't be able to get metal, but they are pretty abundant and pretty easy to get. Okay, so this is the calm ocean, is what I'm calling it. I don't know what the actual biome name is, but basically it has just the lowest level of resources, but also no danger. So it'll have kelp, plastic, and wood. That's it. And boom. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on in. Actually, we're going to see if we can make a house yet. Go ahead and just have him start crafting saw planks. This is the next biome. This can have islands that have trees or little villages and stuff like that. And it's where you're going to start finding better resources. As you can see, the little guys are pretty fast. I am on 3 times speed, which is pretty fast. So let's put a walkway on this side, just so I can show you something on the overmap. We're going to do super far out. Put a little tent there, and then we need some more wood to make another tent. Okay. While they gather this wood, dry it, and break it down, as you can see on our little ship, this is our main ship right here. These shadows are the actual outlines of the buildings that you've built, and it actually impedes you when you're moving around the map. So the more you build, the bigger the space you need to move around in, and the more energy it takes to move your mass. So, you know, that's something to take consideration of. If you want to be like really agile, you can build a very long, narrow ship, which is going to be what I'm going to show you in my middle one. Or if you don't care, you can build a metropolis that's like a square, like a Borg cube. So this will give us our second 2-person room. It's literally just a bed with a tent over it. There's some islands over there. Okay, everyone is in a good mood. Oh, let's talk about that. So there's moods. It's just like RimWorld, if you're familiar, or Dwarf Fortress, or any colony survival game. They've got moodlets. They've got needs. They've also got priority and charts and stuff. Everyone's got stuff they like doing. Everyone's got stuff they're good at. Not necessarily the same thing. But if you have them doing stuff they like, they will be happier, like just from the get-go. So what I like to do is try to get a fairly large crew, like 20 or 30 people, and just basically pump points into whatever they like until I have some sort of detriment, that I need to fill. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move into the next zone here. Captain, look there on the horizon. A scouting landmark. If we climb to the top, we'll see all sorts of junk. I'm going to go ahead and grab some wood while I'm here. These islands have trees, but we don't have the ability to harvest them because we don't have axes yet. Axes are a little bit later on. They require metal, and we don't have metal yet. Okay. We do have 3 knowledge points, which means we can come to our... This is where all the, town... This is where all of the nondescript buildings go. Civic buildings. I will say one thing about the UI that I kind of dislike is there's not very many categories, and so this gets very crowded very quickly, and I'll show you that on my mid and late game versions. I wish that they would break it down a little bit more. Maybe into plastics, metals, woods might be a good way to do. Or like tools, raw materials, stuff like that. So they're going to build some stuff while we rock our way over here. Okay. Looks like they finished. So we're going to go into the knowledge. This is the tree, as you can see. And on my late game, I've gotten to here. Could not access this one because I think that last quest wasn't in yet. But we're going to go ahead and grab rope lashing, which gives us rope crafters, storage yards, and drying racks, so that we don't have to manually dry wood anymore. We're going to go over here, and we're going to send a dude over to scout. Oh, we see smoke up ahead. And it's in the city biome. So we're going to grab all these ropes. Give it 1 second here. And I do like the little audio cues. It's really easy to... Oh. Okay, you might notice a few things. I had to go help put down my son. He was having trouble sleeping. And so I accidentally... When I stopped recording, I did not pause the game, and so all my guys died, and I had to restart. So this is a very similar but different town. I've gotten us back to where we were doing the lookout, and I'm making our houses right now, and we're going to try to just keep going. So, like we were doing last time, we have wood that's been drying, we have all sorts of stuff going on, and we just need to basically build up to get this duo tent so that we have enough. I did find some dead trees, which you can get kindling, which is firewood, basically. And it doesn't require processing. So it's really nice early game. Okay. There is our... Okay, let's roll. We're going to go on down to this town district over here. And it'll have access to second level goods, so furniture, junk, stuff like that we can then transform into other things that are useful. But first we're going to try to find a guy that's living on one of these islands. Campfire, still smoldering, just missed him. So we're going to go ahead and grab this furniture. I already had to make a bunch of storage because I grabbed a bunch of kelp. See, we just need wood, correct? No, we need floaters. Plastic, man. Plastic is always the enemy in this game. We're going to grab the plastic junk. Actually, we're going to grab all the junk, let's face it. Plastic junk can be turned into plastic, so it's very useful. And people are just going to kind of run around and do stuff. There's a recycler. Recycler will let you turn plastic junk, like junk furniture, and appliances into circuitry and plastic. So it's very useful. Whereas wooden furniture needs to be broken down in a chopping block, which we can do here in just a second. Okay, we finally got what we need. As you can see up here, we've got 5 meals left, so we really need to get food going. And we need a couple more floaters to do that. No one does anything at night. We're just kind of sleeping. Everyone eats 1 food a day and drinks 1 water. Make sure everything's going. Okay. We're going to get the salad spinner as soon as we get a couple more floaters. It'll just take a second. Movement over there in the supermarket. Go ahead and grab this guy. Whoa, what? You scared the salt off me. Basically, you find people at random, but there's also quests later on. We'll get to that in a second. And the quests give you specialists. They're just another kind of recruit. So everyone's super excited to see a town floating around, and they're almost all willing to join you. Okay, so we'll go grab her. We'll have a 4th person. That does mean our food and water needs are going to go up, but hopefully also our production. So we're going to get food, water, and wood or campfire stuff going. And then we will move on to the middle playthrough, and I'll show you what the next stage of the game looks like. Where you are... See, I'm bumping into stuff because I'm being an idiot. Okay. Of course, we need more plastic. Let's see. We have enough floaters to make our salad spinner. You can make your, by the way, you can make your town look like whatever you want, because mid-game you'll get an architect that lets you rearrange everything. So don't worry about that when you're starting the game. Just try to make it functional. Okay, and now we're gonna make a desalinator. Yeah, I said that wrong. I know what I did. Then we need one more floater, and then we can make a chopping block that'll give us firewood. The desalinator needs firewood. So that's kind of the basics. That has food, water. The salad spinner gives us basic food. Desalinator uses fuel to turn into water. We have the ability to recycle and make basic stuff. The last thing I wanted to show you before we move over is research. So let's go ahead and, as always, grab this plastic. So everyone was able to eat and drink. We're all good there. We're going to go into here. You get research points, these little IQ points or whatever, by keeping your people happy and having them successfully complete tasks. So if your people are always sad, you're going to get a whole lot less. Okay, we got this built. What we'll do is we'll set somebody to high level for research. So we'll go in here. You love researching, so you can go ahead and do it. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down. Everyone has like their own little unique animations, and it's really cool, I think. So like he'll throw the kelp up in here, and he'll spin it around to dry it out. Or she'll work on research. This person's stoking the fire under the desalinator, and this person's making floaters. I think they did a really good job on the animation. Okay, so that person's grabbing stuff and taking it back to load back up the kelp. You can check on the progress. Every tier adds like a little thing. So this one has 1 bar, this one will have 2 bars, and it basically just fills up 1 bar at a time. So on the first tier, you can't really check in on it, but after that, you can kind of see your progress. I usually end up with 2 or 3 of these mid-game. It helps to move things along faster. And as long as you keep your guys middle happy or happy, you're going to get lots of research points. So, we can now make ropes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, and you can see, like, we're only 1 research tech in, and this is almost a full bar already. So there's our rope lasher. We're going to come in here. We'll make it. And this is our first divergent path. So we need kelp for food, but we also need kelp to make ropes. And so you've kind of got to like delineate which one you think is more important at the time, or what do you need. So that's kind of this. The early game is pretty smooth. I've done it 6-7 times now. Did not do that on purpose. I'm sorry. I have 2 little children. Memes aside, I think the early game's pretty good. It gets a little samey because you've got there's no like turn off the like quest mode and free play, which I kind of wish there was. But whatever. Let's see. We have, I think Dinkelberg is my mid game. Yeah, 130 days, 23 people. That's fine. It says it's incompatible. We'll see if it works. Oh, people are freaking out. You can see all your people here. It's gonna look a little weird because technically the review period's over. But I was not able to record last night. So this is my mid. I'm getting a lot of. This is my mid-game ship. I did it this specifically to make it look like a battleship, which I think is funny. Although I did it backwards on accident, so like it looks like this. You know, this is the back of the ship, but it's moving forward. So I'll give you a little tour. We have this tug. Increases the amount of buildings that we can have. I've got 2 of those. I've got some my advanced manufacturing here. As you can see at the top, we have a lot more resources. So we've got raw resources, we've got refined, we've got fuel. Petrol also goes here. We have ingredients. We have regular food, water, seeds to beautify our place. And then we also have tools, and we have special. So this is things like quest items or books or medicine. So I put all of my industrial on one side. There's no real... The game works on a beautification system that you can turn on and off, as you can see. Everything either gives a positive or negative value, but it's not localized, so you don't have to be really careful with where you put things. It's just a net positive or net negative beautification. So for me, I have a 196, which is very positive because of my giant farm over here, and also some of the other stuff I'll show you in the residential area. But you basically just want to keep it above 0, and the higher it is, the better mood buff it'll give. Which, for me, right now, my people are in middle. They're middling happiness. But that's because I don't have a lot of food options. And I have a ton of this to make up for it. So, this is my farming district. And as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. I've got tree farms. These are wheat, potatoes, corn, tomatoes. This is more potatoes, sorry. Tomatoes, more potatoes. Potatoes are very important. And then I've got kelp farms. I got batteries. Got some generators here. I've got, on this side, some more industry. I've got solar panels, which are very nice, but very expensive to make. They're the only non-input needed power that I have access to. So once you get these, if you can spam them, which I'll show you on my later one, you no longer have to run generators and require things like fuel. Also, we have these bikes, which are like manually powered. They don't require a resource, but they do require time from your colonists. This is what the architect mode looks like. You can literally just move stuff around as you want to. Or you can store it, and it'll store in here. You do have to use everything before you can come out of the storage area, or the architect mode. So that's just something to keep an eye on. So let's talk about my residential area. There are 3 different levels of residences. There's tents, which is what we had at the beginning of the game. Those give basic shelter. That's it. They fulfill basic shelter. Then you have things like this that are like the middle stage. They provide shelter, but also can be improved to reduce their weight, so you can have more of them. Then there's cottages. Cottages they both provide an aesthetic boost, but also they have like empty slots that you can fill with I've got plants, I've got some other stuff going on here just to make everything prettier. So I've got this one empty here, so we can go in here, we can do this, we can pick some flowers, and we can plant them. And my guys will come along, and they'll plant the flowers and be happy. See? And it's a way of beautifying without taking up a bunch of extra space. Not just that, but they can also be upgraded to have things like air filters and sleep respirators, because big parts of this game are polluted, and there's no good way to get rid of pollution aside from this, which sucks because these are the last houses. So until you get these, your people are just permanently polluted. That's one of the gripes I have with the game. As you can see, I have 23 people. 20 of them are polluted, or some sort of pollution level, and it goes down so slowly. Like, we're talking like out of 100, I think it's like 1 or 2 or something like that every time they sleep. But they have a negative moodlet every single time until it's totally gone. However, if they get all the way up to 100 and become diseased, they will go into this med pod if you have the medicine for it, and they'll be cured immediately. This was given to me by a specialist, and it's just something that you get in the late game, but there's nothing you can do in that middle area until you get these air filters and respirators that slowly get rid of it every night, but it's still very slow. So that's one of the gripes I have, but that's pretty small. We have, if you're big into like Factorio and stuff, so we have things like Pledel, which is plastic metal, and it's made from 2 other resources that you have to make, or like you have to get treated planks, which is you have to refine a fish into oil, you have to make planks, stuff like that. And there's just a whole bunch of different chains that you have to follow for manufacturing. It's all the pretty standard production type games where you've got to like manage your inventory to not have to have a bajillion T storage like I have. So let's talk about tech. I'd say mid game goes to about here. Once you get Plastech, things start getting a little weird because you start doing the main storyline and rescuing an astronaut and start building rockets. The rocket part of the game was not in when I played it. I got all the way up there. That's my late game. I'll show you guys that here in a second. But what I will say, you can make some really fucking cool looking cities in this game. There's going to be lots of other people. Anytime you watch a review of a game, highly recommend you go watch another one and maybe 2 or 3 just to like make sure you get lots of different opinions or try to find a reviewer that thinks a lot like you do. And then, yeah, you'll see lots of stuff. But I saw one that was just beautiful. It was like basically like a giant circular park. And I don't know how long they spent on it, but it must have been a long time. So, I'm just kind of going for a silly little shape on this one. Like I said, it's a kind of a battleship shaped one. And I just thought it was fun. This one's pretty inefficient. As you can see, if you watch my fuel, it goes down really fast. I can show you my last one's going to be a whole lot better. So before we move on to that one, though, I do want to show you what a specialist quest looks like. So we've got oilist, we've got the aquaculturalist, and we've got the chef. We're going to go do the chef right now. Oh, never mind. We need to let our guys bike and stuff real quick. So they're biking to generate energy. Got some people cooking. Got our generators going. Our power goes up pretty quick. We've got some extra batteries to increase capacity. It's just, once you get pretty heavy, it just takes a while to have enough energy built up to kind of negate it. Okay, so what do we got here? Basically, it gives you a location. You go and check. I'll be chilled. That's a lot of tomatoes, like a lot. They must have been frozen before the shortage. Look at them over there. Okay, we're going to grab all that stuff. I have... Give me one second. I'm going to turn off mulching because I've been mulching all my tomatoes. I need to stop that. I have salvage ships. So my people are going to come in. They're going to get in their salvage ships. They're going to come over here. They've got a bigger capacity. They move faster and they have a bigger range. So they'll come over here. They'll pick up all this stuff. And start seeing that these will start going down. Stumbled upon a book titled In Flavor of a Flood. Okay, so that's going to give us the next part of the mission. Don't mind the achievements at the bottom. Honestly, once we load up the next one, I should have all of them. I may have overplayed this review because I really liked it. You know how it is. Not only, this, I will say, I feel like I'm glazing the game a little bit. It's very good. It's not perfect, but I haven't had really many pain points at all in 30 hours. So that's saying something. I played a lot of games. And I was just really excited to be invited. So take that with a grain of salt then, because I might be unintentionally giving them more credit than they are due. So we got all the stuff here. We are going to produce jellyfish balls, which we need to make a new production meat, I believe. So we're going to go in here. Let's see. It's the fryer? I think it's the fryer. We need Pledel and eel electronics. Oh, that's treated wood. That's not what I need. Where's my regular eel electronics? This is the main problem. Like, I try to organize everything, but there's just so many things you have to produce in this game. Okay, we got our fish oil, we got our eel electronics, and our Pledel. Fish balls require fish and tomatoes. So we're gonna go find some fishies right over here. So when you have fish on the map, you can either use your fishing ships if it's between here and here, Or if it's in here and you have a fishing dock, they'll automatically catch it. Or you can send your guys out to get it. But I'm just going to do this. I'm going to park here. And as you can see... Oh. Yeah, show me. This is how you get the new... So this is a specialist. He's the last one I haven't gotten yet. And then we have the mysterious signal, which is the actual campaign. So I'm going to put off on that one. But we're currently doing the chef, so we'll work on him. This needs to be plugged up to power. Okay. We are going to make one fish ball. Like I said, awesome animations for like every single thing. Look at that. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. These jellyfish balls are a treat. Okay, recipe 2, plastic wraps. Okay. Plastic wraps, the food truck. We don't have a food truck yet, so I need a little bit more plettle, and I need some of this. Oh hey, my hedgehog came out. We had to move our entire house around because my basement flooded, so that's where I used to be. My sound might be a little bit different because of the acoustics in the room. But, you know, we're making the best, making do with what we can. And I currently have a hedgehog living next to me. And she is just out there chewing away. Okay. I think we made our plettle. Oh, we still need one more treated plank. Okay. Make our food truck. Food truck takes up a lot of room. This is kind of like my cooking corner. Gotta throw a couple more people on there. I'd say once your town has about 20 to 30 people, it really feels like you can get whatever you need done. Before that, you always kind of feel short of labor, and after that, it feels a little crowded. Okay, cobbler rolls, fish tacos, fish and chips, or plastic wraps. So our gentleman is going to come over here. He's going to put all of our stuff together. And then we got the taco truck going on over here. Look at that. Like I said, every single one has a nice little animation. The only thing I don't like is when people don't have a job, they just kind of stand here. Like this is the last place they delivered stuff to, so they just kind of sit. I wish they would change that. Pretty small little animation. Just give them something to do. Let them walk around or something. Or if you have a park, let them go sit in the park. We're just waiting for this to finish. Okay. Ocean taffy. Okay, this is going to take corn syrup, which we don't have any corn. Crap. And then what else does it need? The spinner. It needs seaweed sheets, which we can do one of those. And 2 corns. Let's go look for corn. So there's lots of different biomes. There's this one. That's the city. It has basic secondary resources. We have, this is a polluted biome. It's got like mushrooms. It's got 3rd level resources. You know what, I'm going to, for the time being, I'm going to turn off these things because they sap a lot of power and I'm not using them. Power consumption is really a kind of a big deal mid-game. Okay. And it might take a little while to find some corn. We have corn planted. And so if it gets really bad, I'll just cut out the part, you know. How far is our corn along? Half. Okay. So not only are we we have to provide our water for our people, but also our crops now. The more crops you have, the more water you have to have. However, electric desalinators are much better than regular ones. So it's not so bad. So there's lots of different kinds of islands you can find. There's little houses, there's scouting places, all sorts of stuff. Potatoes. Any corn? Nope, just potatoes. More potatoes. More potatoes. Dang it. Why are there so many potatoes? Okay, we'll stop here, actually. This is a pretty rare little POI. It has a bunch of tools we can take. Otherwise, we'd have to make them. Junk. We don't need junk right now. Actually, let's go ahead and scout. So like I said, eventually we'll have corn. It's just going to take a while for it to grow. As you can see, one more person's now sick, and they're not getting better. So that kind of sucks. Okay, any corn on the horizon? Crap. No corn on the horizon over there. Nada. Well, we'll just keep moving this way. The bird guy's over here. He's crazy. Oop. I gotta increase our power generation. What do we want to do? Let's do another... Ooh, we can do another solar panel. That would be good. Oh, we need a little bit more. This is what I was talking about. Look at all these different kinds of like walkways and plots and stuff. They could be broken up into more. Or look at all these different workshops. You know, it just gets very cumbersome. Small thing to complain about, but it gets kind of annoying sometimes. Okay, we'll just add this onto our line. That'll help a tiny amount with generation. Each individual solar power only does like 3, but it's always running. So it's just kind of better. I guess it's not running at night, but you know what I mean. Oh. I will say, if you run across a mushroom island, harvest them every time you see them, because you're going to need a lot of them late game. And they're kind of rare. As you can see, our regen's going pretty fast. This yellow is your how far you can travel. So like if I was to put my thing here, right? And I had no generation, I would have gotten to right here and we would have run out of power. So it's just like a nice little indicator of how far you can go. Well, poop. We ran into a city. This is a city, not a village. It is highly polluted. And it has 3rd level resources. So it can have things like aluminum, solar panels, stuff like that. How's our corn doing? Not fast. Okay. We're going to keep looking. That's for sure. What do we need? What do I need for more generation? Metal and electronics. Metal? Just straight, we just need metal. So let's go find a car. Beep, boop, beep. There's all these, the best places to find metal are these little, they're broken bridges. They have like remnants of cars and stuff on them. Let me see, where's my tool maker? Gotta go here. Okay. We're gonna build some more tools. Tools are the, I don't know, indigo colored ones on the top. I wanted to show you guys the thing, and it's just like not letting me. Also, my guys just really don't want to do any scavenging right now. You know what? Let's go do the bird guy. We know he likes us. I'm doing the bird guy. You can't stop me. The cook is such a diva, obviously. Okay. Bird guy, what do you need? Cacao! Watch out, seagull's going for your head. Stephen Prime. This guy will let us have seagulls that live in a tower, and as long as we feed them, they will like grab ambient resources from around us. It's kind of nice. Okay, so now he has been recruited. Grab a little fuel he has. We need a birdhouse and bird chow. I have no resources. You know what? Screw it. We're going to the late game mode. We're going to Ocean View. 269 days, 33 people. Incoming achievements. So this is my late game. I have a much more robust electrical system. I have the ability to make spaceship parts and spaceship launch pad. I have districts, so this is scavenging, production. I have a large farming district. I have electrical. We have storage in the middle so that everyone can get to it. And we have basic production here. And then we have like I have like a nice little village at this guy. I like this a lot. These are my favorite walkways. They're like tied with the highest level ones. They give the most beauty, but they are technically not the highest level one. And then I've got some nice parks. And everyone's living in tiny or cozy little cottages. And we are all the way at the end. So one of the things that I like to do is when I roll around, you can basically, if you find that you're not liking your layout at all, you just go over here. You can go into architect mode. You can move anything you're out. So originally I had kind of a central spine like I did in the other one, but I moved all these guys over here once I got bridges, and I kind of made like a little inlet for them. So they're more quote unquote protected, like a role-playing way. And I also made myself like a nice little central park. I've got a nice little statue. And anytime I want to move stuff, all I have to do is do that. And I can right click and it'll go away. And it'll be stored for later. So, got that. We'll put that back there. Also, I want to have a walkway stored. So, you can just store it there and use it later. If you build a building you don't need right now and you think it's ugly and you don't want it, you can just get rid of it. You can either get rid of it by demolishing it here, you'll get all your stuff back, or you can hide it with your architect and you won't have to worry about getting the resources again. So, my thoughts on late game. Like I said, the version I played did not have the last quest. So, the last quest, spoilers, close your ears. You're going to contact an astronaut. You're going to try to help them get back to Earth so that they can live with you. They are by themselves on the space station. In order to do that, you have to build a rocket. It takes a bunch of specialized parts. I've got a couple of them. I've got two of the 5 parts. Problem is, when I played it, some of the items like space meals, cockpit interface, and rocket fuel, nowhere to be found. They are special items. Could not find them. And the thing that really killed me is I couldn't find anything on the internet about it. Like that it's maybe an upcoming feature or something. That's a little rough. I tried to join their Discord, but it said that it was invalid, even though it was like an invite from the dev. So who knows what happened there. But I will say on like everything up to this point, it's going to be pretty well documented online. You're going to be able to find lots of videos. There's a pretty good little community for this game because it's been in early access for a long time. And they seem to be very, very heavy in the conviction that they're going to keep adding stuff. And if you like city builders, this is a great one. Like, it's unique. You get to move around. Let's see if I can show you how much more, like, even though my ship is like probably twice as big, I still have pretty good range on this thing. And then we'll see how fast it goes back up once I run out. Okay, we are out. Is it going to go back up? Yes. We'll put in third. So we've got lots of solar panels. We've got some generators. We've got an eel electricity tank. It's got eels in it. And it's just, you know, it's a fun little game, man. They did a good job. They made it's got a very good theme. Oh, like I said, I kept walking. You start out at 0. I'm at 111,000. So I just went. And so the map just keeps going. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I know it kind of rambled. This game was my jam. I highly recommend it. I don't generally say buy a game, but if you like city builders, if you like Timberborn or something like that, this is a good game, man. Give it a try, and or wait for a sale. It's going to be great. Highly recommend. I will talk to you all later. This has been Malthus. Thank you for hanging out in the fort with me, and we will continue to look at games later. Malthus out.